Kindly Zoom yourselves. I'm giving you the opportunity to be disciplined on your own. So Zoom yourself or mute yourself rather, so that we can begin. I will not begin with all those noises. Adults should learn to Zoom or to mute themselves out. I'm not going to mute you. I'm waiting for you to mute yourself. Today, I hope there are not those who are saying they're in the waiting room, blah, blah, blah. There's no waiting room.
Kwenye kuna results ya chufala.
(22040999). You can't mute yourself unless I mute you. I have Jesus to everyone. I've not shared any screen, by the way. I don't know whoever those who are sharing. I don't know why they are sharing.
Nimefikiria nini?
Where are we? Where were we the last time? Before we were rudely interrupted by
Oral
Zoom.
communication.
Oral communication. Right, so we were doing speeches, I suppose.
Yeah, we were doing characteristics of a good speech.
Characteristics of a good speech. And I said that a good speech is clear. A good speech is like an informal talk. A good speech is vivid and concrete, meaning that when you give a good speech, then people are able to comprehend what you're saying as well as visualize what you're saying. For example, instead of saying that the population of Kenya is growing so fast, or rather, let me use India has the biggest population. The population of India is growing fast. This is what a good speaker who gives a good speech can say. You can say, see how fast our population is growing. Another characteristics of a good speech that I said, we are learning, you know, for your information maybe and your progression is the Zoom link we are currently using is being tested. So there are many aspects of the link that still we cannot handle. We learn each day. So kindly bear with me still if I can't share my screen, because these are one of the very few ones that have been licensed to take off because of the number of students that we have. Thanks to your class rep who alerted whoever, I don't know whether it was HOD or the ICT, we were able to be licensed so that we have uninterrupted Zoom classes. So thanks to her, I've forgotten her name. I don't know whether it's Sandra or somebody. We were able to be licensed so that we can accommodate as many as we can. But there are things that still we can't do, like sharing. I'm also learning it while at it. I just watch YouTube how to create that link, and I've done so. So bear with me, the notes will be provided. The other characteristics of a good speech, I said, is your speech should be very brief. Your speech, there is always a time span. Even in class, if I go over and over again, you at some point you will lose your concentration. That is why I usually say that the class should be as brief as we can, so long as you understand my content and you understand where we are coming from. And I also said that we can only do a topic at a time. If we mix topic 1 and topic 2, then we get jumbled up. So one topic at a time is what I have equipped to your concentration span, where you will be able to understand and remember really what did we do on oral communication. So your speech as a speaker should be tailored to that length. I know as a communications person that my students, my diploma, my certificate students can only concentrate this far. And I will always end at that point and always ask you, do we stop there? And yes means that now their concentration span has reached its limit and it is time to stop. Kindly tell those who are on talking and I am on class teaching, please to mute themselves. I have classes with the degree level and I never tell them to mute themselves. I want you to think about yourself at that level where you don't need to be reminded like a baby all the time. Mute yourself, mute yourself, mute yourself. You waste a lot of time and energy. Have the courtesy, be cautious enough to mute yourself, knowing you are interfering with the over 200 that are here and are listening. The next thing I will do is I will exit you because I want you to exercise personal discipline. The next thing is I will not admit you to my class and you will be free to go to whoever you want to go to and report. And I have no apologies because I want you to be disciplined on your own. I do not need to prefect you. Mute yourself, do a business. You know, you are adults. Don't interfere with those who came to learn. A speech should also be like an informal talk. I say that so that you create a rapport. If I am a lecturer and I can't laugh, I can't send emojis, I can't talk to my students, you know, they will see me as, hey, yule mwalimu mkali, ama huyo lecturer ongeangi achekangi. No. Learning is only conducive in an environment where we fight sometimes, for example, with those who don't want to take instructions, but also laugh at humor. All work without play makes Jack a dull boy. So we should be able to create a perfect rapport between me and my students as a speaker, between you and your audience. Another characteristic of a good speech is a good speech should be interesting. A good speech should be interesting. When you are giving a speech, don't be flat and boring. Use quotations, use examples, use anecdotes, use humorous touches that make your speech interesting. Quotations should be from acceptable authorities, and these quotations should be familiar. These quotations should be familiar, but not worn out. Don't use them that they become a cliche. Use so many times that they're boring. Humor should be very topical, should be original, should be spontaneous rather, and should be oriented. A good speech also should be audience-oriented. A good speech should also be audience-oriented. What do I mean? Is that a good speech should be tailored to the wavelength of the audience. And as you do so, consider how large is your audience for that matter. Is the audience generalized or specialized one? So that you understand and be able to determine the length of your subject.
Madam, pardon there.
Come again?
Can you repeat that point again? Explain it.
Audience-oriented. If I am teaching a communication skills class, I should tailor-make my notes to suit a communication skills class. So that because I also teach business communication skills at the degree level, I also teach professional writing at the degree level, and I also teach information literacy, and we may interact as you proceed. But what I mean here is, if I am teaching communication skills, I should stick to communication skills during my class time so that I do not talk about professional writing, although they are a bit related, they are in the same family, or I don't talk about information literacy so much that I forget that what I am teaching about at this particular moment in time is on communication skills. I should also be able to know who asked the question.
It's Glenn.
Glenn.
Yes.
So that if I am teaching your class, Glenn, I should know that the class I'm teaching right now constitutes about 250 to 300 students. This is a large gathering. So the speech, if I was giving a speech, then the speech should be able to suit this kind of audience. Glenn, are we together up to that point?
Yes, we're together.
All right. Moving swiftly, let us look at the profile of a good speaker. Who do we consider as a good speaker? Who do we consider as somebody who is a good speaker? We have good speakers that we have been seeing, or we were born seeing, the kinds of Martin Luther King Jr. For those who want to understand what a good speaker looks like, please look for the videos of Martin Luther King Jr. Look for the videos of Patrick Lumumba. Look for the videos of Barack Obama. From these particular examples, you will know, or you will be able to relate with what I call, or profiles that I give of what a good speaker should be. Number one is a good speaker is lively, interested, enthusiastic, and vital. Let that sink in. A good speaker is lively, interested, enthusiastic, spelled as ENTHUSIASTIC. A good speaker is lively, interested, enthusiastic, and vital. About four characteristics in one. These characteristics can only be held by speakers who treat their audience as a group of living people. This is why I need a co-host to be removing those who are disturbing me in class. I will wait till you are all silent. Today, I will not baby anybody. I will just wait. Once all of you are silent, let me know, then we proceed. A good speaker, as I said, is lively, interested, enthusiastic, and vital. This kind of a speaker will always treat their audience as a group of living people. They won't treat you as tones who are just there to watch him. No, he will be interested in the subject he's speaking about and will take the pain to make the audience equally interested in it. If your speaker is boring, if your speaker is flat, the audience definitely will go flat on him or her. And that is why a good speaker should always be lively, should always be interested, should always be enthusiastic, and should always be vital. Number 2 is a good speaker is honest. A good speaker is honest. A good speaker is honest. A good speaker Sandra. Sandra, which class reps do you have here? Class reps, which class reps do you have here?
Yeah,
Who's that, Sandra?
I'm Charity.
Huh?
Charity.
Oh, Charity.
Yes.
Please note for me those who have their mics muted, who have their mics talking in class.
Okay.
Please note for me everybody whose mic is on. Number 3 is a good speaker does not speak for the sake of speaking. A good speaker does not speak for the sake of speaking. He speaks because he has something to say. He does not speak to show off. He does not speak to impress the audience with his erudition or his authority. He speaks because he or she has an agenda to pass forward. That is why they speak. That is a profile of a good speaker. Another profile of a good speaker is that a good speaker has a sense of responsibility. A good speaker has a sense of responsibility to his subject. I am responsible for my communication skills class, and therefore I will always endeavor to give you content that is current, content that is relevant, and content that will help you in your day-to-day as you begin your university life. Yes, Tony, from where? What do you want? Oh, all right, Sawa. I'll call you back. I'm in a meeting. All right. A good speaker, again, I said, must have a sense of responsibility to others. I should only take time that is allotted to me during this class. I should take time and consider you as well. Somebody tells me that, Nolimu, I was not able to join your class because my finances ran dry and I cannot attend class. I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have my laptop. I don't have a smartphone. As a lecturer who is a sister, who is a mother, who is a friend, I should be able to listen to concerns. That is what responsibility is all about. The same is applicable both ways. That when I bring for you that I was not able to do ABCD because of ABCD, then I expect my audience to understand, because it cuts both ways. Issues cut both ways, so that it is not only one-sided where I listen, but my students, on the other hand, cannot listen to my concerns. A good speaker must also have some sense of leadership. A good speaker must also have some sense of leadership. You should be able to stand tall, to talk eye to eye, to speak responsibly and with authority as a leader should. You must have authority so that you don't show lack of confidence when you're supposed to give a speech, or you lose your memory while at it and you cannot be able to give a speech. That does not make you a good speaker. And there are many more profiles of what a good speaker should be. The profile is huge. You can always read, add your notes onto it to ensure that you equip yourself properly. Let us move forward and understand how then can you make a good speech, or can you prepare for a good speech that will make you a good speaker. Preparation for a speech. Preparation for a speech. Subtitle under topic 2. For you to be able to give a good speech, for you to be able to give a good speech, you must prepare. For you to be able to give a good speech, then you must prepare.
Mwalimu, you're breaking.
I'm breaking. Am I clear now?
Yes.
I have said that for you to be able to prepare for a good speech, you must work on it. And you can only prepare if you do the following things that I will list below, or I will read, or I will talk about. One is you must research your topic thoroughly. You must research your topic thoroughly. How do you research? You research by identifying the points of discussion and deciding what you want to say about them. You can only prepare appropriately when you research your topic thoroughly and identify the points for discussion and decide what you have to say about them. Number 2 is you must plan your speech in 3 parts. Number 2 preparation that you need to make is plan your speech in 3 parts. The beginning, you must have the middle of your speech, and you must have the conclusion. The beginning should be able to arouse the interest of the audience. The beginning should be able to arouse the interest of your audience. Make them interested in wanting to hear more. Let them thirst for what you want to say, for the topic. If you are talking about oral communication, how then does this Mwalimu introduce this oral communication to make my students interested in learning more to do with speeches, to do with public speaking, etc., etc. So the beginning of a topic, of a story, of a speech must arouse the interest of your audience. Then you have the middle, which should be devoted to discussions. The middle part should further enhance your introduction, make it more interesting, make it more juicy, make it more believable, make your audience relate to your speech. Last but not least, we have the conclusion, which should then summarize the main points and if some action is to be taken to it. We have the beginning, we have the middle, and we have the conclusion. Planning your speech, preparation. 1 is you research your topic thoroughly. 2 is you plan your speech in 3 parts, the beginning, the middle, and the conclusion. And 3, take your speech Time your speech to make sure it is neither too long, short. Time your speech to make sure that it is neither too long nor too short. The other thing that you have to do is look for some suitable quotations and anecdotes if possible. We had talked about the profile of a good speaker, and we said that a good speaker should incorporate quotations and anecdotes if possible. So look for suitable quotations or anecdotes if possible. It is not mandatory. It is only that they will arouse the interest of your speakers or your listeners, to what you're saying. Number 5 is arrange your points in such a way that strong points are kept at the beginning. Arrange your points in such a way that strong points are kept at the beginning. That strong points are kept at the beginning. Number 6 is tailor your speech to the intellectual level and general taste of your audience. Tailor your speech to the intellectual level and general taste of your audience. Tailor your speech to the intellectual level and general taste of your audience. Tailor your speech to the intellectual level and general taste of your audience. The same way I teach master students, it's not the same way I will teach degree students, and is not the same way that I will teach the diploma, the certificate levels. Those are 3 categories of students and must be handled so that they are able to understand the content you're giving, so that you are not too basic to the master students, or you are not too complicated for the diploma or the certificate level. Those are 3 levels and must be treated with the respect and the decadence that they all deserve. Last but not least, make sure that your delivery is going to be good. How do you do it? When I was growing up, I wanted to be a journalist. So much so, especially a news anchor. I enjoyed the likes of Catherine Kasavuli, the likes of Beatrice Marshall, people who are good, journalists or news anchors who had content and who are good. So what I usually did, because I remember then I came from a very humble background, and I used to go to a neighbor's house to watch the Great Wall, the TV that I had a hump at the back. So I would go and watch them back in the evening, or when I'm alone in the house, and I would come in my room, and rehearse. Way back, I was in primary school. And the urge and the dream kept me going. It kept me going. And through that, I was able to master my English properly. I was able to knowing when to go up in my voice, when to go down, when to be flat, when to do what. And this over time built my career and by the grace of God, I'm still in the media industry and I'm loving it. And it's a passion. It's something I enjoy doing. I'm news anchoring to my students. I'm lecturing my students. I am enjoying every bit of it because this is what I have always dreamt of doing, talking, letting people understand, letting them to be intrigued, letting them enjoy my classes. I am anchoring on a different perspective because I practiced, loved what I'm doing, and very passionate about it, delivering my talks, my classes, using the Queen's language to the betterment of my students. Make sure that your delivery is good. Rehearse your speech, maybe using a tape recorder or a video recorder so that you can find that marks the end of speech. Let us look at meetings. Part 2, that was chapter 2, subtopic 1. Let us now look at chapter 2, subtopic 2, meetings. Meetings, in a way, resonate with speeches sometimes, because sometimes you can hold meetings and at the same time have speeches while at it. However, meetings are usually held to discuss particular issues or matters. Meetings are usually held to discuss particular issues or matters. It is important to note that for the meetings to be successful, the following should be done. For the meetings to be successful, the following should be done. One is any meeting, the purpose of that particular meeting should be defined. You cannot call a meeting that has no agenda. You must have an agenda. Come again.
Pardon.
You're too fast. You are too fast.
Catch up. I'm training you to do your degree. So speed is of essence. Hey, who is talking? Who is talking of speed?
Aye, word, Amal.
What's your name?
I'm Alphonse Odeb.
Alphonse.
Yes.
Now we are moving from high school. Now we are going to, you are doing your diploma or your certificate. I want you to focus. You are going for the degree level. Speed is
okay.
of importance, right?
Yes.
But I hope I'm clear.
It's okay.
Yes, so I am training you ahead. I'm looking past whatever you're doing now. I'm looking forward to having you at the degree classes. I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm looking forward to you being able to sit in a meeting, understand with the present speed, and have your notes. So just, if I'm too fast for your writing, just do key points. You know what key points are, Alphonse?
Yes, madam.
Note the key points and listen to me more.
It's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
But I will try to be at your pace. But I don't want to be at this pace. I want us to move forward. All right?
It's okay. It's okay. I get you.
Beautiful. So meetings are held to discuss particular issues or matters. Meetings are held so that you can sort out issues, any other businesses that were left pending. If you have any other business, what you will do is pick an agenda from those businesses and have it tabled to your audience or your members. So for any meeting to be successful, you must define the purpose of the meeting clearly. What is the agenda? Why have you called the meeting? Is the meeting about contribution? Is the meeting about death that occurred among the members? Is the meeting about promotions? Give an agenda. The other thing that you must do for your meeting to be successful is you must distribute the agenda among all members. You must distribute the agenda. Distribute the agenda. Alphonse, we are distributing. We have defined the purpose of the meeting clearly. The second thing is we are distributing the agenda. Make it early. Don't distribute it maybe. You can during the meetings, yes, but it is advisable that you do it prior so that people acquaint with themselves with what is on the table.
Excuse madam, distributing the agenda to the audience or what?
Meetings is, who am I talking to? I love referring my people with their names.
I'm Koech.
Koech.
Yeah.
Meetings are normally in an organization. Let's say we are working and we are employees and we have an employer, or like me, where I work with the Ministry of ICT, we have meetings, we have weekly meetings, we have monthly meetings, right?
Yeah, sure.
So what happens is in that pool, in that team, we are members, we are employees. So we call meetings. So most meetings are of members. We are talking about formal meetings.
Okay.
So when we talk about audience, audience refers to, when we come to speeches, speeches are given to audience.
Okay.
Meetings are held for members.
Okay.
Or any other person related to that meeting. They can be non-members, but in a way or the other, they are related to that meeting. For example, we can call a meeting of employees of maybe Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. But in this meeting, we have those who have shareholders who are not necessarily members per se, but are members at the same time. So meetings are for members, not audience.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
All right. 3 is you provide all facts. Facts, mostly when it comes to results. Let's say in this year, we were able to deliver, if it's a production farm, we were able to deliver this much and this was our profits. Be very categorical with facts. This is our loss, we lost by 20%, give the figures. This is our gain, we made profit by this, we exceeded by this much. So give facts. Last but not least, restrict the number of invitees. You don't have to invite everyone. They'll make the meeting so complicated. the lesser the better for progress of the organization. As a chairman of a meeting, how again, or what should you observe? If you are the chairman of a meeting, for your meeting to be successful, you should observe the following. Charity, I hope you are still together on what I told you to do.
Yes.
Right. If you are the chairman of the meeting, and for your meeting to be successful, then you must do the following. One is you must be punctual. As the convener of the meeting, you have to exercise punctuality. You have to exercise punctuality. Another thing is you have to clearly define the purpose of the meeting. As a chairman, you have to clearly define the purpose or agenda of the meeting. Number 3 is, as a chairman, as a convener of a meeting, begin with a positive approach and don't start on negative. Don't be like, you employees, you're not doing work, I will sack you, blah, blah, blah. No. Congratulate them. At least there are some things that they do right. So start from that point that this year we have noted a remarkable improvement on your arrival time to work, on your submissions of your reports. However, there are a few concerns here and there. Are we together up to that point? That be positive. Don't scare people off at the beginning of your meeting. You come to the meeting, your face is hard, stiff. People see trouble. When you call a meeting, people start, texting one another. Oh, kimeumana, leo ni kubaya, blah, blah, blah. No, let you not be so evident, not so detectable that whenever you call a meeting, you want to sack people, you want to demote, nothing positive. People are not, your employees or members are not looking forward for anything good. Be positive. Give them a positive approach. Produce positive vibes so that all of you are at the same page and they are put to understand that here is where we go wrong. We need to do this because you did it with love, with a lot of, care and very positive. Another thing you must do is your opening remarks should be brief. Your opening remarks should be very brief. Don't whine and whine and whine and whine so that by the time you're finishing your introduction, watu wamechoka. Be brief. Another thing that you have to do as a chairman is cite out the initial silence. Cite is S-I-G-H-T. Cite out the initial silence. Essentially, what that means is once you have given your opening remarks, members usually go silent. Nobody wants to speak first. As a chairman / convener of a meeting, you should assist your members to open up. Assure them that it's not a big deal. You can talk. As a chairman, you are also expected to make them contribute by assuring them, giving them permission to talk. As a chairman, you also have the obligation to control the meeting. When only one people wants to talk all the time, not giving others space, or there's a heated moment, it is you to bring the meeting to order. And many other duties. As you do your research, as you read, you will be able to encounter many, many more roles that you need to do as a chairman.
Excuse me, Mwalimu.
Yes.
I need you to
Introduce your name first.
My name is Mark Foy.
Mark?
Foy.
Uh-huh.
I need you to repeat the point of cite out the initial. I didn't get it well.
Cite out the silence, the initial silence. Essentially, what that means is people will not be able to talk once you have talked, and maybe your introduction was very scary or was very tensed, or you are explaining a problem. And people don't want to come out to waseme, hapa ilikuwa hapa hivi chairman, hapa you have said this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. So watu wananyamaza. So citing out the initial silence is watu wamenyamaza. What you do is single out talking. The silence is provoking people to talk. Are we together on that?
Yeah.
Are we together?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks.
As an attendee of a meeting, what are you expected to do? As an attendee of a meeting, what then is your role? If you are an attendee to a meeting, go to the meeting well prepared. Point number one, go to the meeting well prepared. Don't be a zombie. We kila meeting ikiitwa we unaangaliana tu, huna point, huna contribution, you don't have a comment submission, you don't have a deduction, you have nothing. No, go to the meeting well prepared. Two, study the agenda carefully. Study the agenda carefully. Once you understand the agenda, you will be able to make meaningful contributions. You will be able to make meaningful contributions. Number three, carefully read the information circulated in advance. Carefully read the information circulated in advance. Number 3 is study other members who are attending the meeting. Study other members who are attending their meeting, so that kama wewe ni mtu kiherere usiende unaongea tu ovyo ovyo, hujali, no. Understand their likes and dislikes, understand their strong and weak points, the way they speak, and how to react to different ideas or not their areas of specification. Understand your fellow attendees. Know their characteristics. Some are introverted, they don't want to talk a lot. If you sit to an introvert, you will know that I need to talk less. If you are an introvert and you sit next to an extrovert, then you might be compelled to engage, so that you have you sit close to somebody who you can relate to, can share a high, you can laugh when necessary, or joke. Understand your fellow attendees. Number 4, speak at the end, most appropriate time if you have good ideas. Speak at the end. Don't be interjecting that maybe the chairman is talking and you're busy. Excuse me, you ever, excuse me. You don't take time to internalize. Silence sometimes is golden. So collect yourself together, collect your points together, understand what they are talking about, so that when you decide to talk at the end, it's not bad to interject. But again, it is not too good to be too much. Weigh your time. Let us go to chapter 2, subtitle 3. Chapter 2, subtitle 3, discussions. Chapter 2, subtopic 3, discussions. Discussions is a cooperative, critical exchange of opinions. What are discussions? Discussions, I say, it's a cooperative, critical exchange of opinions, information. Discussions are a cooperative, critical exchange of opinions, information, and ideas about one general subject. It is guided by a leader for the purpose of seeking appropriate, acceptable answers to a question. It is guided by a leader for the purpose of seeking appropriate, acceptable answers to a question. Discussions can be conducted before an audience, or it can be held in closed discussion. Remember, our topic today is oral communication. We have been discussing elements or types of oral communication. We started with a speech. We moved to meetings. Now we are on discussions. And I reiterate that a discussion is a cooperative, critical exchange of opinions, information, and ideas about one general subject. It is guided by a leader. It is guided by a leader for the purpose of seeking appropriate, acceptable answers to a question. And I have mentioned that discussions can be conducted through an audience or it can be held in a closed session. It can be conducted before an audience or it can be held in a closed session. This leads us to the purpose of group discussions. The purposes of group discussion, a mini subtitle under the subtopic discussions, purpose or purposes of group discussions. What are the purposes? You have group discussions in school or in college, and we want to just try basically to understand why do we have group discussions. One of the most important purposes or purpose of group discussions is to solve complex problems, to solve complex problems. Essentially, what I mean is when one or two people are incapable of solving a problem, they often call experts from a variety of areas and have collective wisdom to assist in solving complex problems. You have not been able to solve. So what it's like, you have a maths group discussion or a maths group or discussion group or whatever you decide to arrange your words, and you cannot be able to solve. And you know that so-and-so who is part of this class understand mathematics vibaya sana. What you will do is you will invite that person, please come and help us understand this topic. So the most important purpose is to solve complex problem. Number two is to publish existing problems. You have a group discussion to publish existing problems. You put it out. This is the problem we have. Can we discuss it? How can we sort it? To publish existing problems. Three, we have group discussions to give individuals experiences in becoming leaders. We want to share experiences, so we form groups to share experiences. Last but not least, we have group discussions to collect information. Yes? Introduce yourself.
I am Abdi.
Huh?
I am Abdi.
Right, yes.
1.3.
Point 3.
Yeah.
To give individual experiences in becoming leaders. You just form group discussions to share ideas. To share ideas. To deliberate. So you have a group discussion just to share your experiences on how you became a leader, or you want to be a leader and you want to learn from others. Are we together?
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we start group discussions. Yes.
Can you, Stefano, can you repeat point 2, please? Kindly.
To publish, point 2, Stefano. Point 2 is to publish existing problems. Like we have a problem we can't sort out. We decide to form groups so that we try and sort it out per group. So we publish existing problems. Hii shida iko. So we come together and lay it bare. This is the problem we are having. So point 2 is to publish existing problems. Together up to that point, Stefano?
Yes, thank you.
Factors influencing discussions. Factors influencing discussions. Factors influencing discussions. We have critical factors that influence discussions. We have critical factors that influence discussions. One, especially what I mean is how the discussion goes will have been contributed to by the following factors. One is amount of research, the amount of research that you have done. If your group decided not to do research, just coming to the discussion without knowledge, hawajaenda field wakajua, wakaenda library, hawajafanya upekuzi kujua ni nini haswa tunaohitaji katika hii discussion yetu. How much can I contribute? What can I give? Then they just come. This will definitely affect the success of your discussion. So the amount of research done by participants before the discussion may affect both the quality of discussion and the quality of the results. Number 2, underlying motives or secret interests. Underlying motives or secret interests. Sometimes in groups, we have people who are not honest and open because they stand to lose something. So that you are having a discussion and you'll find their friend, maybe it was a discussion on money or something, and a friend of theirs in the group has been accused of embezzling funds. So because this is their friend, they don't want to look like they are going against them. They will not talk. They will not contribute. They definitely may sway the discussion to protect these people. And this will ultimately and absolutely affect quality and results of a discussion. Number 3, non-verbal, vocal, and verbal messages. Non-verbal, vocal, and verbal messages.
Excuse mwalimu, pardon.
Who am I talking to?
Mark,
Mark, what do I pardon exactly?
non-verbal. Sijasikia hapo teacher.
Non-verbal, vocal, and verbal messages. Non-verbal, vocal, and verbal messages. Are we together, Mark?
Yes.
Essentially, what that means is discuss non-verbal. Ni vile unafanya macho, tuko kwa discussion, you're rolling your eyes, you're shrugging your shoulders, you're throwing your hands. Those are non-verbal. Vocal is kuongea chafu. Yani we ama unaongea chafu ama unaongea vikali, you're vocal. Then of course you have the verbal messages. Unatema, matusi. Watu wako kwa group na point yangu upendi, wewe yako ni kurusha rusha matusi. Ama kuniongelesha vibaya, ama kuwa rude, vitu kama hizo. They are the non-verbal where you express yourself, not talking. Then you have the vocal where you talk to express your concerns. And then of course you have the verbal messages. Verbal can go either way. So these kind of disgusted expressions, stressed words, or technical terms may suggest attitude and emotions of the people involved. When you have such characters in a group discussion, more often than not, the discussions will not bear fruits. Why? Because you have disgusted expressions. We have stressed words. You know what a stressed word can be? The one sometimes you guys give, maybe, hamjapata link, ama wachache walipata link, and then I go to the WhatsApp group and I get disgusted expressions. I get verbal messages written up, oh, blah, 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 virtual campus is a scam, sijui nini nini, and I am trying, Mark. I have tried to form a link, it's not working. The college link is not working. I am trying my best. But because of the non-verbal, vocal, and verbal messages in the communication skills WhatsApp group, I decide to close the group. Why? Because I want to stay positive. I'm usually a very positive person, so that, you know, I want to keep the positive face I know of. Mark, if any, of course, your face I know I keep the tempos down. In the still the case, you'll find you'll run to the maths WhatsApp group or the other WhatsApp group and you vent. And somebody of good faith who knows that I meant well will share with me and be mwalimu wameenda vent huko. But because I'm positive, for whoever I share, I don't have no ill intentions. I know neither of you, and I remain positive. I don't victimize people. I am what you see. So don't be scared to vent. In communication, venting is allowed. You are allowed to talk. And as a Christian, before you vent somewhere, come and tell me, mwalimu, send me a text or something. Mwalimu, hapa tumeboeka, blah, blah, blah. I am a very positive person. I will take it very positively because it's your right to learn. And this virtual campus thing, it's still work in progress, not only in communication skills. It's still work in process across board in other units. So be kind to your lecturers. They are trying. They are trying. And you know, majority of us are not your age mates. So we may be slow to learn these techniques as fast. But be kind, be cautious, be understanding. Assume we are your bigger sisters and your bigger brothers, and you treat us good. Non-verbal, vocal, and verbal messages. Number 4, that can affect a group discussion is sensitivity of the participants to each other. Sensitivity of the participants to each other and to themselves.
Hey. Hello. Miss Ellis.
Sasa huyu ni nani ananiongelesha ni kama ni rafiki yake hapo. Wewe niongelesha na heshima wewe. Hi, you say hi. Good afternoon, Mwalimu. My name is blah blah blah. I have this question. Hey, we are in a communication skills class. Do the right thing and proceed.
Excuse me. My name is Muhammad.
Oh my goodness, you are excused. Proceed.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Muhammad.
Mohammed, it had to be you. How are you?
Good.
All right, go ahead.
I want to tell you that you have another class starting very soon. So I was requesting you in this class.
Mohammed, this class is essentially supposed to run from 11 to 2. So I will release people at 1. I understand your concern. Allow us to go up to 1 so that we finish this topic.
Okay.
I join late, but I will. The earliest I can finish is at 1, so that we finish this topic. As soon as we finish, you'll be free to go to the other class. Is that okay, Ali Scholar?
The other class starts at 1, and you have to go to school.
What are you saying? You're not audible. I can't get you.
I said the next class starts at 1, so we have to prepare. We are not even in school.
Mohammed, essentially what I am saying in this communication skills class, that I will finish at exactly 1. So I only have 20 minutes and I will let you free. Is that okay? Or I am boring you, you want to leave. Mohammed, am I boring?
No.
All right, sensitivity of the participants to each other. In group discussions, you are expected to be aware of other participants. Some are tensed, some mute your mics. Charity, I hope you're working. If participants are unaware what others are tense, frustrated, or they'll probably not be able to draw them into a discussion. So be sensitive to your fellow discussionees. Let us look at types of discussion questions. Let us look at, yani sahi kina Mohamed wanakimbia nao mbio, oh mwalimu hatujasoma class, oh mwalimu, oh scam, kaeni hapa msome mpaka saa 7. Discussion of questions, of types of discussion questions, types of discussion. Of questions. Generally, we have 3 types of questions. One is we have question of fact. A question of fact. 3 types of discussion questions. The first one is a question of fact. In this kind of a question, we are fact finding. It's either true, probable, or false. It's a fact. Type 2 of the discussion questions, we have discussions of value. Guy. Charity, who is that? Check for me, who is that? Question of value. Question of value. These questions evaluate different ideas to see which one is best. These questions evaluate. I don't want to go back to Zoom because I will lose my notes. We have question of fact. 2, we have questions of value. And these questions of value evaluate different ideas. Charity, who is speaking? Charity?
I have some participants, our judge mute.
They should mute themselves. You just record for me the names. Then you give me after the class. So we have questions of value.
Okay.
These questions evaluate different ideas to see which one is best. Discussants compare and contrast the worth of value of one thing with another to make judgments. They compare and contrast the worth of value of one thing with another to make judgments. Then you have the last question. You have question of fact, then you have question of value. Last but not least, we have questions of policy. And if something should be or should not be done. Policy, it's about laws and regulations. So we are discussing issues to do with policies. This should be done or should not be done. Let us look at types of discussions. Types of discussions. Types of discussions. The types of discussions usually depend on such factors as the number of participants or the subjects to be discussed and the time allowed for the discussion. The type of discussion that a group holds will usually depend on factors such as the number of participants, the subject to be discussion. Type number 1 is we have panel discussions. Panel discussions. Panel discussions. Panel discussions involves 4 to 8 members. Panel discussions involves 4 to 8 members. Here, usually we don't have prepared speeches. Instead, discussions are expected to follow specific lines to find an answer. In panel discussions, we don't have prepared speeches. Instead, discussions are expected to follow specific lines. We don't have a pattern for participation in panel discussion. 2 type of discussion, we have symposium, and majority of you are aware of symposiums. We used to have science symposiums. Then when I was growing up, we had science symposiums. This kind of discussions requires individuals either to deal with one assigned area of discussion. Only one person will deal with one area of discussion or present unique viewpoints. Symposiums, you all know how symposiums used to be conducted, and I will not belabor over it. Then we have roundtable discussions. We have roundtable discussion. Roundtable discussions do not include audience participation, although they may be present. In a roundtable, you will see people presenting and we have an audience, but most of the times, the audience are just observers. Number 4, we have lecture discussions. Number 4, we have lecture. presenting a formal structured presentations. And you are allowed to interrupt the leader with questions, lecture discussions. Number 5, we have progressive discussion. Progressive discussions are about leaders filing reports. You discuss on some aspects on the same question for some time. Then the leader of the group will present discussions. Charity. Charity.
Yes.
The whole class has a class. The whole group of com skills have a class at 1.
Okay, I'm not sure because we have divided classes.
So what do you suggest?
Yes, but for
What
the
do you
sake of the sake of the DBIT, we can end the session and then wapate to attend the other class.
That's already, you are crying. Who organized your timetable so that your class clashes with mine? Who is talking? Who is that?
As I'm saying, the DBIT class work on a class.
All right.
And then we have the other group when you wanna. So our DBIT watakuwa affected.
All right, because the next oral communication we're going to do interviews is a bit long. Yes. So I will understand and let you be for the time being. We meet again same time.
Same place.
Same place.
See you next week.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Bye.